Woo! I am live and we are good to go. Hopefully, everybody will be able to hear me okay. I'm here, of course, in Charleston, South Carolina. Literally, the sky just opened up and it is going psycho outside right now. Like it is storming like crazy. Storming is like lundering and tightening, thundering and lightning and pouring down raining. But I'm going to carry on and I'm going to pray, trust, and believe that God got us and we are good to go. Welcome, lovely ladies. I hope you all are doing well. If you do not know, I am Coach V, the New Love Strategist with New Thing Life Coaching. I am a certified life, dating, and relationship coach. I'm all about helping my single and frustrated lady to renew their minds, preparing their hearts, renewing their hearts, while also ensuring that they have the intentional dating skills that are necessary to win at Kingdom Love. I like to give this disclaimer a lot here lately. I want to make sure that everybody knows that as a coach, I'm an all lives matter person. Okay. I'm an all love stories matter at the end of the day. I don't care about your race. I know that some of you have seen me talking a lot lately about Black women and how there's been a little bit of a shift going on, or a lot of a shift going on, only because of what God was kind of speaking to me last year and showing me to narrow it down even more about how persons of color, how Black people, Black women, we have struggled a lot. I was looking at the statistics when it comes to marriage, when it comes to divorce, when it comes to romance, when it comes to dating. It's a lot that is really affecting Black men. I know, well, white women have issues too, and Latino, like everyone has all of these different things. I get it. There are things that are in our community, and I'm just simply being obedient. I fought God on this for a long time, but now I'm willing and ready to walk into what He's been calling me to do. That is why last year I did NP2I. It was that 2-day intensive that was all about Black women. It was called New Prep because I wanted to prepare them in a different way. We have to be prepared in a different way. There are things that we are marked by, there are things that are tied to our past. There are some things as far as our trauma that some people just don't understand. And again, and even a lot of us as Black women who also don't even understand why we have been enduring certain things, why we have been the way that we've been in our relationships and stuff like that. And that intensive was literally just that, intense. It was about, I think, almost 10 hours of all of this work and statistics and assignments and homework and everything to get ladies straight. But at the end of the day, I want to see women win at love. I'm always talking about kingdom love, and that is what I am all about. You can connect at newthinglifecoaching.com and let that be that. I am streaming right now to a couple of different places live. So, of course, if you have any questions, you can always drop them down in the little chat box. I am friends with a lot of you on Facebook as well. So, of course, you can always send a little message to my inbox. I will be checking my phone periodically just to see if there's anything that someone is asking, maybe even wanting me to address or clarify. We're going to do all of that while I still have power, and I'm trusting and believing I'm going to keep my power and everything is going to be good. I'm here before you because I want you to have a hot girl summer. Okay. No, I don't care about you having Meg the Stallion knees, none of that. I am talking about holy, obedient, and thoughtful. That is what we are doing, right? Hot girl summer. That is why some of you even utilize that specific code where I did the Writing the Vision workshop that was half off earlier this week for a few days, because I really want women to get intentional. I work with Christian women. I'm a Christian coach. There are Christian values. I have scriptures for everything. I'm always applying something biblically speaking. I want to ensure that you're maintaining the holiness, that we stay connected to God. I want you walking in obedience, right? Because there are a whole lot of different scriptures in the Bible that pertain to women and the kind of wives we are to be, and the instructions for us. So we see all of those different things. And I want you to be thoughtful. I want you to think about everything that it is you're doing. I want you to think about the moves that you're making. I want you to think about, men, and even the effort and everything that you're putting into that when it comes to dating. So holy, obedient, thoughtful. I want you to have a hot girl summer. That's why we're doing this. Here we are. I want you to win at love. And if you want to win at love, if you are determined to not give up, then I want to give you 7 strategies that are going to help you renew your mind, cleanse your heart, and renew your heart so that you can win at Kingdom Love, because literally it's your time. If you are watching this, that means you are ready and you know it is your time. And I don't want to really talk about self-love too much because I recently did like a webinar on that in the tribe. Hey, Thunder. I know I recently did that. A lot of you joined in for Ascend 21. That was the 21-day self-love challenge. So we've talked about it a lot. What I will say is that when you lack it, because I know for myself, when I lack self-love, It was evident in the choices that I made with men. It was evident in the choices that I made with sex. A lot of y'all heard me talk about man B. I'll say that just his initials was actually B. And I remember, like, again, before that, before he came along, I was always using sex to get love, being completely honest. Yes, sex is nice, sex is great. But of course, for me, it was like a lot of times I would really just do it because it was what I knew men wanted. And that was me trying to lure them in and trying to get them to connect and commit using sex. So, of course, finally becoming abstinent, meeting this guy, it was like, okay, I'm actually not really wanting to have sex right now. We're just going to kind of leave that part alone. But I didn't tell him that up front. So, of course, that led to us breaking up. It was a huge devastation. I went through a period in 2017 or 2016 where I was depressed. I was crying. I was losing my mind. I went a little bit manic, being completely honest, just for a little bit, all because of what that relationship ending, what it actually did to me emotionally and mentally speaking. And then finally, I was able to get up, brush myself off, and start working with Christian ladies, which is what I was called to do. But it was like I still had that little ugly gray area that I talk about sometimes in between breaking up with him and then before getting to really where I needed to be and where I wanted to be, where it's like I became a little self righteous. My abstinence became my badge of honor. I was always walking around saying how I was married to Jesus. I had all of these unrealistic expectations. I was absolutely doing the most. And I'm so glad that I finally started my healing process. But even then, it was like I was unaware of some of my triggers. So I had ended up still making a few mistakes, even after all of those things. But a lot of those mistakes that I made, they were due to me being impatient and they were also due to disobedience. And it's funny because I have worked with countless women over the years. Anyone who has worked with me, they are free to share their testimony. Some of them I share as well. But I have worked with so many different women over the years via Saved and Single, my single women's ministry. I have an online ministry for that. I do stuff locally, even here in Charleston. I have my coaching business. I've worked with women, individually, one-on-one. I've done group coaching. I've had speaking engagements. I've hosted engagements. I've spoken at conferences. I've done webinars. I've done the whole nine. I've done all of it. And the things that I am going to teach in this class tonight is what's gotten many ladies results because they've listened to me, they did the work, they were teachable, they applied every single thing I gave. I can rattle off countless names: Basani, Ashley, Kelly, women who are winning at love. And I'm so proud of them because I've seen them do the work. I've seen them show up. I've seen them, they were ready for the next steps, even when they were mad at me, rolling their eyes, crying. Like I've gone through a little bit of all kind of emotions, but they did the work. And now I'm looking at them winning. But the funny part is that I sat back and I watched those women date. I watched a lot of those women fall in love. I watched them all get engaged, get married, have babies, the whole nine. And it wasn't happening for me. And I couldn't figure out why it wasn't happening for me. I did not know what the heck was going on, but it was mainly my bad decisions that had me paralyzed, one. And two, I wanted to keep helping women in order to get my finances where I wanted them to be, because that was what was important to me. That was a part of myself that I had neglected for a very long time, was getting my finances in order. So I was like, hey, I know God called me to this area, so I'm going to do this in order to meet the thing that I'm struggling with the most. And y'all know I talk about money habits like all the time. And I know that bad money habits will also lead to poor decisions with men. We talked about it in the self-love challenge. For 4 days, we talked about that. And for those of you who are in N2L, which is the New Love Language Community, that month-to-month membership, that is going to be the course for the month of August. It is all about finances and making sure you get to a certain place financially, because after a certain amount of time, there's no reason why money or lack thereof should still be the reason why you can't invest in yourself, you can't afford certain things, that thing that'll hold you back, again, that thing that'll cause you to date certain men or not date certain men, the whole nine. No. So for me, I was focusing on money, but I still kind of had God like, why are you trying to pick? Like, you can have success and you can have love. I don't want you to choose. And I always had to remind myself of that. And not just love, but y'all know I talk about, good love, real love, the love that lasts. I'm all about the kingdom love, the love that is actually represented by a man and a woman who have both taken the time to dwell in God's love. They have both developed self-love that is evident in those 5 phases of real self-love: the finances, the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the social. And that is how they discovered that real love with each other. They discovered that real love because they were doing the work when it came to spending time with God and developing self-love. Kingdom love embodies those three things. And that is the kind of love that I help all of my VIB clients win at. Meaning, where they know again who God is and how God feels about them. They love themselves fully, and it's evident in their physical health, their financial status and goals, their emotional stability, their mental state, and their social circle. They're all grounded spiritually. They are not settling, and they have discovered real love for the first time ever with a man who is perfect for them. That man where they can overlook a lot of the flaws because they see the good and the God in that man. And if it has not happened for you yet, guess what? I don't want you losing hope. There is a man who knows God and he knows himself, and he is just needing to find you. And I want to make sure that you know how to find him as well, and that you would even know this man when he is in your face. You simply need the mindset to believe and the heart to receive. I know there are many reasons why women are not winning on their own. I know a lot of them because, like me, they had tried it all. They adapted to a lot of the new age dating. There were all of the rules. They've been reading the books. They've been signing up for classes. They've been going to therapy, things which on their own, they are all great. But a lot of times something is missing because women who did all of those things, they've been becoming more and more frustrated. It's like, okay, I've been going to therapy, nothing's worked. I've signed up for this class. I've signed up for this university. I've enrolled in this. I've been doing this. I've read all 5 of these books, but yet nothing has changed. Nothing has yet brought forth their good man. Nothing has brought forth the real love. Why? Well, primarily because none of those things actually get to the root. A lot of those things don't get to the root. Now, I know somebody is probably saying, oh, well, therapy can absolutely do that. Therapy is wonderful. Therapy does a lot of those things. But what a lot of people don't realize, and like I tell my clients all the time, even when they first sign on for one-on-one stuff, there's a huge difference between a life coach, a therapist, a counselor, a psychologist, a psychotherapist. Like all of those things are different. All of those things serve different purposes at the end of the day. So yeah, a lot of those things are great in and of itself. Having a relationship with God is great in and of itself. But what I've seen a lot of times is that none of those things have been the bridge between the heart, mind, science, and their faith in God. Individually, those things are all amazing, but they must tie together. Those of you who have signed up, who have been in New Heart Academy, you already know I talk about those 3 things every single week, every single class. Those of you who have registered, you're going to hear me start talking about that come next Wednesday, July 20th, New Heart Academy. It's all about faith, humanity, and science. I look at all of those things. The heart is mind, emotion, and wills. The heart is science, spirit, and humanity. It's all of those things, but the latter part, humanity, is what actually trips us up. Now, let me also say, while helping other women, here's the thing. I struggled with something. I struggled a lot of times with the fact that, how do I word this? I was always paying attention to what God did and didn't do for me. I was struggling with a lot of the things that God was revealing to me. I was struggling with a lot of things as far as my past was concerned, even, yes, some of the things as far as my present. And I didn't always want to even share the testimonies of the ladies that I was working with. Why? Because I didn't have one of my own. I couldn't figure out, okay, I don't want to share what these ladies are accomplishing because it ain't working for me, Lord. So now what? I'd always found myself dating by faith, giving chances, allowing others to, do all of these different things, but nothing was working. I even found myself giving advice to others that fitted them, but not me, because it was a little bit crazy that I never really thought to take myself through my own processes. I never really took the time to try my own methods, my own strategies. Like how it's easier to help others, but sometimes we can't help ourselves. It's like I was helping others, yet I was failing miserably. And I remember like miserably, and I remember laughing and telling my best friend, we talked about this, like I think sometime even last year. I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to write a book called Confessions of Your Favorite Dating Coach. I was like, because I really did have a lot of women, and maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but I had a lot of women who were coming to me for everything, all of this help, and I was helping them and they were getting results. But I was like, if some of these ladies really knew like some of the things that I have still not really yet mastered, even though it's like I got the answers, why am I not applying it? It made no sense. But arrogance is that word that God gave me. God is like, I've given you the wisdom, I've given you the gifts. It is arrogant for you to think that the wisdom that I have instilled in you is only for others and not yourself. I coach and I minister from a place of knowing why women do things and why it's wrong and what needs to change, because I don't want any of you to repeat the things that I've repeated. Even though while helping others, there was a point, thank God I'm way past that, but there was a point that I forgot about me. Finally, it's like the man that I'm with now, the man that I have and I love, like he is absolutely amazing, and it's kingdom love at its finest. It's a love that I do not have to fight for. It is something that I don't have to struggle with. It is a love that I don't have to sleep with him to get anything, none of those things. And I want you to experience that. And now I can experience it. Now I can share more with others. Now I can walk boldly in my calling. And now I let my work and results speak for itself. Ashley is probably not watching this. Again, she has no reason to, because she's winning and she's doing her own thing. But I love it because she joined my breakout program, my inner healing 6-month one-on-one coaching program back in 2020. Ashley was tired of making bad decisions with men, and she knew that something needed to change. And Ashley showed up every single session on time, ready. She did the work for 6 months, and towards the end, funny, right before graduation, she met this amazing man who I've even already gotten to meet. I love when I get to meet my clients and when I get to meet the men in their lives, like the boyfriends, the fiancés, the husbands. I love meeting all of these men. I love these men who even know who I am, but all because their girlfriends, fiancés, wives have told them, like, hey, you probably would have never got this awesome woman if it wasn't for Coach V. So I have these women, we've become friends. We message each other. Like me and Ashley, we always say those two favorite words, it's happening, because we can't believe that the kingdom love is something that we get to experience, something with amazing men that give us the love that we questioned if we'd ever get, the reason why we had settled in the past many times before. I love Genesis 2:18, the amplified version. I know I shared that in the Sash tribe recently. I even put it on my personal page as well, because we know that the word says it is not good for man to be alone, but the amplified version says that it is not beneficial for man to be alone. I'm going to make someone who is suitable and complementary. A lot of you are struggling because you're going based off chemistry, you're going based off compatibility, you're going based off of shared interests. You're missing all of the important things, and that is not going to get you anywhere. So you are here to get 7 strategies to renew your mind, to cleanse your heart, to renew your heart, and to win at Kingdom Love. Because you, yes, you, as beautiful as you are, you deserve a man that is suitable and complementary, one who values who God created you to be. And before I give you the 7 strategies, let me tell you, these do work if you work them. I just want to make that clear. And I'm not about to give you no, little witch potion. I'm not about to give you some little how to trick a man or whatever else. I'm going to give you things that a lot of times women are all over the place doing everything else, and they fail to do these basic 7 things. And it's so basic. I was like, no, I'm not even about to charge anybody for this. I'm going to give it for free, because I want women to know if they implement these things, the game will change. But the first thing is, we got to talk about mindset renewal and heart cleansing. 2 completely separate things, but they are definitely an important aspect of implementing the 7 strategies. And I know, like today, we're all about boundaries, right? And boundaries are very important, but boundaries mean nothing without the 2 secret components. One being a renewed mind. Your renewed mind, it is vital, because if you don't renew your mind, that means you don't believe you're a good woman. That means you don't believe good men exist. If you don't renew your mind, it means that you don't believe that you deserve a good man. It means that you don't even believe you'll get one. And guess what? Whatever you believe is what is going to actually be fulfilled. So all of those things, you believe you don't believe you're a good woman, you don't believe good men exist, you don't believe you deserve one, you don't believe you'll get one, then guess what? Then you won't. You won't. It's really that simple. And you will find yourself operating the way worldly women do when it comes to getting a man, a partner, a spouse, instead of getting your man, your partner, your spouse. You have to renew your mind. And I tell you how to do that. We're going to talk about that. We go in depth with that in New Heart Academy when we start next week. And I'm even going to give you 5 steps on how to renew your mind. And then the thing is that boundaries also need a clean heart. Cleansing your heart is so, so important, because it is an important step, an aspect of implementing the 7 strategies that I'm about to give you in like 2 minutes. Jeremiah 17:9, it talks about the heart being deceitful. It says it is wicked. It is the most wicked of all things. It cannot even be trusted. The heart is fickle, right? And this is why, even again, with New Heart Academy, we're going to be looking at all of these things because that scripture would stand out to me. And I'm like, okay, Jeremiah 17:9 says the heart is like deceptive, it is wicked, it is deceitful. Jeremiah 17:10, God is saying, I search and examine the heart, I give each person what they deserve according to their motives. The key is to go through the heart exam, get a heart like God's, and then love from that place. Love men from that place. Love a man from day one from that place. Because guess what? Whatever it is you give out, you receive. And it's that a healthy heart is what will help you do the most important thing that you must do wisely, and that's choose. You have to choose wisely. Now, I know somebody on here, you gave a chance when you shouldn't have because you didn't choose wisely. You were ghosted by someone because you didn't even choose wisely. I know that you didn't see that little breakup or hiccup coming because you didn't choose wisely. I know someone, you were in the talking stage for years with a man being held up because you did not choose wisely. I know that some of you are like me. You slept with a man just in case. It's like, well, who knows what'll happen? Maybe he'll catch feelings and realize, and once we share that intimate time, and then we'll be together, and you experience that, and having to heal from a man who was never even committed to you because you didn't choose wisely. A healthy heart and healthy eyes help you choose wisely. I love how Proverbs 13:17 says, an unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble, but a reliable messenger brings healing. I want you to apply that to yourself. When you have heart issues, your messages and your love language, they are all unreliable and they can bring you trouble. What you are giving off, it will bring trouble and it is going to bring you the wrong kind of men. You have to clean your heart. You know, a lot of times it's like we're conscious of the clutter that fills our minds and our homes, but do you ever intentionally really think about the things that are cluttering your heart? Do you think about the things that, you know, that take all of your attention on other things? And do you ever try to at least focus on stuff that can purify your heart and clear the clutter so that you will remain spiritually grounded? Or are you instead doing things that are keeping you spiritually stagnant? This is the year for you to be mindful. This is the year for you to be a hot girl, holy, obedient, and thoughtful. Having a pure heart is something we see all throughout the Bible, time and time again. Throughout the pages of the word, we see examples of the characters who are regarded as being pure hearted, as well as those who were not. And you have to understand the purity of the heart can be difficult and it can have you feeling inadequate. You have to ask God to create in you a clean heart. You have to literally do a heart exam. I even gave 7 steps of the heart exam. There's a Bible study class that's on the classes tab on my website because I don't have time to go through all of this right now. Mindset renewal and a heart cleanse. Those two things with you join forces so that you can win at love. Let me give you these 7 strategies because it's storming and I got to go. Okay. 7 strategies to win at Kingdom Love. I really want you to renew your mind, cleanse your heart, go through every single thing so that you can win. Number 1 that I see tripping ladies up is you have to uproot your TWA seeds. Uproot your TWA seeds. I know I have a lot of note takers because some of you are, oh, I'm ready to take notes. Do not take notes. I want you to just listen to what I'm telling you. I want you to just let it all sink in and just do not take any notes. And then maybe come back later, watch it again, and then take, you know, how you can watch something 2 times or even 3 times. And it's like, dang, I didn't even catch that the first time. I don't want you taking any notes, doing anything. The first strategy is to uproot your TWA seeds. When I say TWA, I'm talking about your thoughts, your words, and your actions. All of those things tie into cleansing your heart. I like when Deuteronomy 22:9 talks about, you know, like how you have to be mindful of planting, you know, different seeds, but in the same soil. You can't plant certain things and then expect a heart. Like if you're planting, you're trying to sow discord and faith, and you're expecting like a beautiful heart. Like, no, one of the seeds is going to taint the other one. So you have to uproot a lot of the thoughts and the words and the actions, all of those things that you have been planting based off of your mindset, what you've been speaking, and the things that you've been doing. It all ties to seeds and soil. It's all about the soil. That's the heart, right? You want to make sure that you till the soil of your heart. I need you to dig deep. I need you to excavate what is underneath and why. Recently, I actually made a prayer to God, and I said, God, I want you to reveal to me the condition of my heart. Because a lot of times we think we're doing something just because we don't use certain language, just because we don't do certain things. But if you really take the time and ask God to reveal your heart to you and reveal me to me, it's crazy some of the things that you end up becoming mindful of. And God was showing me, I started to dig really deep and realize, girl, you got some things in your heart that should not be there. And again, Jeremiah 17:10, God says, I search and I examine the heart, and I reward you based off of what you deserve. So I've been going through this little, my own heart exam all over again, my little refining process, the whole character development. I've been going through all of those things. And again, the human hearts, they are like soil. Things grow there. Your thoughts grow in your heart. Ideas grow in your heart. Attitudes grow in your heart. And if we're real, if you can be real like me, a lot of the things that grow there are not good. Some are, but some aren't. But again, Deuteronomy 22:9, can you have good things mixed in with bad things? I don't know about all that. Even in the most beautiful gardens that you see, weeds still grow, and they need to be pulled out so that the good plants can be healthy. Even in the rockiest places where there's no dirt to be seen, where trees and other plants find ways to grow cool, but they can't survive heavy storms. And a lot of times they won't grow tall and strong if they don't have deep roots. You got to examine your roots. You got to get to that, because I always say certain issues and things that we give off in life, in love, in dating, something's going on at the root that needs to be addressed. What kind of roots do you have? So you really have to think about that. The good part is that your heart soil, it can change. There's always change that can take place. I don't care what you've been thinking, what you've been doing, what you've been speaking. I know that being single gets frustrating, because sometimes it's like, okay, I've seen God do it for everybody else. God, when is it going to be my turn? Oh, I'm sick of people saying that real men exist. Well, I'm sick of signing up for this class and nothing has ever happened. Well, I'm probably going to end up having to settle. I'm sick of dating today. I realize the issue is men today. Men today are so inconsistent. Men today, oh, please, he's going to be just like the other one. This ain't even going to work out. Let's see how long this is going to last. Oh, well, he's saying he's going to do that, but I wonder if that's really going to be true. All of those are thoughts, words, and actions. All of those are seeds at the end of the day. Are you ready to uproot those negative things? Because remember what the Bible says, like, do not be deceived. Like, what you reap, you are going to sow. You cannot sow seeds of discord and expect to reap something that is going to be kingdom and beautiful. That's not how that works. We can change all of these things. Hard, rocky hearts can be transformed into gentle and loving hearts. Dry and dusty hearts can be changed into joyful and kind hearts. Weedy hearts can be changed into clean and pure hearts. The thing is knowing this: we can't change our hearts on our own. I even talked about that in the podcast, I think earlier this week, New Motivation. A lot of us, the problem is we're trying to leave God out of everything. It's like, you can't leave God out. You can't leave him out. Like, that's why a lot of you, you're not seeing anything really being produced. It's like, yeah, you're praying and you're going to church and you're kind of doing the work and you kind of are, and you can't leave God out. Only God can make a lot of the changes when it comes to your heart, which is something that he promises to do if we give up control and trust him in our lives. But what I've realized is that a lot of women are too busy telling God what they want, but they're not taking the time to ask God to cleanse and create in them a new heart so that they can find out what it is that God wants them to have. Again, Jeremiah 17:10. So something to think about. What things have caused your heart to be rocky and shallow and filled with weeds and filled with thorns? Again, I get it. I've been through some things and my heart was all over the place. I definitely had some heart issues because of my daddy, because of my mama, because of exes, because of all kind of things that I've gone through. All of those things, my heart, it was like I really had to examine what is going on with your heart. Why do you feel this way? What the heck is going on? I had to figure out what needed to change about my heart soil, because even healthy soil, you got to tend to it. You got to worry about the weeds. You got to fertilize, mulch, the whole nine. Can you think about your heart? Okay. I can go on and on talking about seeds and soils. I don't really have time for that. Number two, the second strategy, after you uproot a lot of those seeds, you know what? You really have to understand love. I that is the second strategy. I always talk about helping women win at love, but it's crazy because I then started to realize that a lot of women really don't understand what love is, what real love is. A lot of them don't realize what kingdom love is. And something I always say a lot of times, you'll hear people talk about a breakup or a divorce or whatever the case might be. And they're like, oh, we just, love it wasn't enough. It takes more than love. I needed more than love. And after a while, love, mm-mm. Love the way the world does it. No, it is not enough. But kingdom love is something completely different because, as I say, kingdom love, even though it's God's love, self love, and then real love with that man, you both have the God's love and self love. Even kingdom love by itself, it has 7 different components to it that when those things are present, kingdom love is absolutely enough. You have to understand love. I encounter, I do consultations, I do sessions, the whole nine with a lot of women who want love, but they don't know what it is. That's why I'm the new love strategist, because I'm here to help people. I always remind people in love and love, those are 2 different things. Love and lust are 2 different things. I love reading 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7. That is love in its purest form. It's love in its purest form. That is also why, here's free game for you. One of the intentional dating skills that I always give ladies, I always say, hey, unreciprocated love. This is why I say, love a man from day one. From the first time you meet him, love him. I did not say commit to him. I did not say forsake all others. I did not say be loyal to him. I didn't say do the most. I didn't say try to prove yourself. I just said love him. Love him. We are instructed to love as Christians. Like again, as Christian women, it's funny how we leave so many basic principles out of our day-to-day living. That is why I'm always like, I'm in Galatians a lot because like Galatians and Ephesians, a lot of these things are like, the header even says call to Christian living. I love how Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving earth. There are these basic things that we get away from, and it's why we're all over the place in our relationships, in parenting, in friendships, in dating, in our finances, in our businesses, on the job. We get away from the basics. You have to understand what love is because that is going to help you win at it if you really want it. You can't be selfish. You can't make it all about you. You can't say, oh, well, I've been through this, so it's going to take a real man to come in and do X, Y, Z. Yep, I'm waiting for a man who's going to, wine and dine and really prove himself because I'm not going to do this again. No, you're already starting off not loving properly. And again, this also goes back to your TWA seeds. Love is an intellectual decision. Love is a commitment. Love is intentionally choosing. It is a principle saying that I am going to fulfill the legitimate needs of this person. Now, of course, wisdom is saying, okay, now I'm realizing that, this is not going anywhere. Like it's, you got to also know when to walk away in the early stages, obviously. But you have to understand what love is. You can't say you want something, but you're not even truly ready for it. That's why a lot of times that God is not answering some of these prayers because the things that we're asking for and praying for, we ain't even ready for it. God is like, you saying you want that, but I know you and you're not ready. So I'm not even about to bless you with that, but I'm going to leave that alone. Renewing and cleansing comes into play oftentimes because of what's in our love box. I always talk about the storage unit of our unconscious minds. And a lot of times we have these boxes that, like a lot of you have a love box. There are certain things that you specifically believe about love, that you believe about men, that you believe about relationships. And you have all of these things that have just been kind of stored up. And it's like, it's what you believe. And it's like some of the things that you believe you shouldn't really be believing. You need to figure out, why do I believe that? Why is that in my love box? How has this been working against me? Has this ever worked for me? Unpack your love box. Strategy number 3, I need you to seek God on marriage. Seek God when it comes to marriage, right? And I say that because dating is one thing, modern dating is another thing. Modern dating as a Christian woman, that is a whole different thing. Dating while Christian, as I always say, DWC. I feel like it's something that's detrimental because what I see now is a lot of people romanticizing marriage and making everything all about love. And again, you have to understand love because it's not a lot of that superficial stuff that you see on TV. It's not the things that happen in the Disney movies. You have to understand what love is, and then you need to seek God on what He, why He created marriage, what He intended for it to be, what He wants it to be for you. You got to ask God, like, hey, prepare me to be a better wife. What ways am I not ready? We can't keep romanticizing stuff. Do you know what the purpose of marriage is? Do you know why you want it? Because at the end of the day, for us as believers, marriage is two people who are holding each other accountable to God. But what I've realized with modern culture, and yes, even DWC with the dating while Christian culture, is we've made marriage about guilt-free sex. I'm just ready to have sex with my husband. I'm just ready to have sex with my. I can't wait to do this and do that. I'm ready to do that. We've made it about social media pictures. We've made it about vacations and couples trips and all these other things. Those are bonuses. Those are absolutely amazing. But it goes back to kingdom love. You want a marriage that embodies kingdom love. And for some of you, it hasn't happened yet because you're praying for something that you don't even understand. Make no mistakes. God wants you to be happy. God wants you to be enjoying life. God wants you to have companionship, all of that. But those things are not the reason for marriages. You should be happy already. You should be happy prior to getting married. And even if you're not happy now, and I need you to figure out why you're not happy. Like, are you not fulfilled? Like, are you not walking in your purpose? Like, have you not healed? Do you have low self-esteem? Is there something that is going on that we need to talk about? But you need to be happy prior to, because if you're not happy prior to marriage, guess what? You're going to go into that marriage and you've already hired your husband to fulfill a role and to take on a job that he didn't even know he was signing up for. He should add to your happiness, yes. There's nothing wrong with making someone happy or adding to it, but it's not his job to keep you happy. I realized that a lot of people don't understand the weight of marriage. God had to speak to me clearly and let me know that my reasons were wrong and my reasons were off as to why I wanted marriage. And he also had to let me know that my husband would come along and that my husband was going to need my help. Because Corinthians even talks about, hey, remember, wives are created for the husband. The husbands are not created for the wives. And don't get mad at me. I didn't say it. The Bible did. Like, take it up with God, right? But it says, like, hey, we are created for them. They are not created to make us happy. Now, yeah, they have their instructions as well. There are 7 things that they are supposed to fulfill. And we talk about that in New Heart Academy as well. But we're created for them. And God was like, hey, I need you to understand. I need you to really scale back on how you're viewing marriage, because your husband is going to need your help. There's a man who is going to need help with something that only you can help him with. Now, here's where I can be honest again. When God told me that, cool. I was like, all right, bet, got it down. I'm going to keep that in mind. I got you, God. But then it's like, as time goes on, every man that I ended up encountering, every man that I ended up dating, guess what? They all needed my help with something. And every man that needed my help in that one area, it's almost like I would meet men who were perfect in like every area, but it was that one thing. And that one thing was different for like each guy. That obviously goes to show I was like, obviously it wasn't just one. I'm like, oh man, I really like so and so, but if he could just, I met this one guy, like things have been going great for a few months, but it's just I hate that this one, if he could just, and so I would always leave. And as I remember when God was like, did I not tell you your husband was going to need help with one thing? And I always left because of one thing. But anyway, strategy number 4. In order to win at love, you have to be unapologetically you. It's easy to want a man to accept you and want to. That's easy. But that's a little hard if you don't even know who you are. That's hard if you don't even feel good about yourself. That's hard if you don't value yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you don't accept yourself, which means you don't respect yourself. And that means all of those things, he won't either. Y'all know I talk about the core 3 a lot: core identity, core values, core beliefs. Because to be yourself, you have to know yourself. Core identity, who are you? Core values, what do you value? Core beliefs, what do you believe in? Because at the end of the day, you want a man who is going to accept you, share your values, and respect your beliefs. The only thing that you need to be is yourself. That alone makes you worthy. Now, the good thing is that God loves us as we are, but that does not mean that he is going to allow us to stay there. You have to be open to renewing your mind, your outlook, doing the heart exam, all of those things so you can win. But a top strategy that messes a lot of women up, they've been putting off their healing. They don't even know what makes them happy. They don't know what their purpose is. They don't know what their calling is. A lot of them, they know what God has called them to do, but they're not doing it. Our basic need is unconditional acceptance. So a lot of times we'll find ourselves, again, we don't know ourselves. I don't really know who I am, but I'm going to be what other people want me to be. Okay, so this man says he likes women who do XYZ, so I'm going to be this, and then maybe he'll like me. Okay, I want to fit into this social circle. I want to sit at this table, so I'm going to become what these women are so I can sit over here. You have to be unapologetically you, because the sexiest thing a woman can have is confidence and self-esteem. So I really need you to get to the root of who you are. And I need you to have, as I always say, that HISA, developing that HISA, that high intensity self-awareness. I need you to know every single thing about yourself. When you know everything about you, again, you show up places and you can look around and be like, no, this is not me. This is not where I want to be. This is not the relationship I want to be in. This is not the social circle I want to be in. This is not the table I want to sit at. And you can say, no, I already know that this is not me. That used to be me. That was the old me, but this ain't me no more. And that is okay. Walk away. Walk away. Strategy number 5, you have to understand men. This goes into mindset renewal. And I say this coming from like science, literally. Like we have to look at the biological aspect and makeup, right? Like, and as a dating coach, and I even had worked with a dating coach as well, an instructor and someone who was a male coach for men for many different years. And I had learned so much. And of course, now adding all of that, just studying it and everything else, I really had to start looking at the scientific makeup of both sexes. And literally, I have been mind blown with the things that I have learned. And I realize that now, truth be told, this is an important one for me when it comes to, my dating life and my past relationships and even my job as a dating coach. The only reason that I can effectively coach and help single women is because I understand both sexes and because I understand why we need each other. Those of you who had purchased Simplicity week 4, that was like the lesson that blew so many ladies' mind. And it was like, wow, I've messed up a lot of good things because I did not know this information. We are selfish by nature, especially as women. We are emotional. Like I said, a lot of us have all of this trauma and stuff from our past and things that we've gone through, and especially as Black women. So a lot of us have some things that we have gone through, and we make everything about us. We are tuned into that WIIFM station. What's in it for me? We make everything about us. And we don't take the time to understand men. We'll go through all of these different things trying to get men to understand where we are coming from, never trying to think about where they're coming from. We fight to be right. We fight to be heard. We fight to be understood, all of that. But we never put that effort and energy into trying to understand them. And it's why a lot of relationships don't go anywhere. It's why a lot of dating ships end up ending prematurely because we don't understand our counterparts. Now, yeah, whoever your man is going to be, and again, this is obviously like a generalized whatever. You're going to end up with someone who, again, he might operate, just a little bit differently, but there are certain things at the root of it all, like it's going to fit your typical average man, especially the kind of men that like we, are like the kind of men that we want to be with. So you have to understand men. Otherwise, you're not going to get far. It is said that the number one complaint that women have about men is that men don't listen. The number one complaint that men have about women is that the woman is always trying to change him. And a lot of times all we do is nag. Well, you don't understand where I'm coming from. Well, I'm trying to get you to understand. Well, I want this and I need you to do this and da 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 da. You don't listen to me and you feel it. You just don't understand me. You don't understand what I've been through. You don't know my attachment style. You don't know my love language. Well, I told you this is something I need. So it's like we go through all of this feeling like, well, you don't understand me and you don't ever listen to me. And while we're doing that, all we're doing is what? Proving men right. The woman is always trying to change us. Nothing we do is ever good enough. Because it's like we'll make everything about us and not even try to figure out what is their love language. How do they show love? How do they want to receive love? Why do they do things the way that they do? Why are they so different from us? The same way we are intricately woven, so are they. You have to understand men. That is something that is super, 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 super duper important. Strategy number 6, unbutton yourself. You have to unbutton yourself. Proverbs 4:23, I love it. Above all else, guard your heart. Everything you do flows from it. What do your actions and your beliefs say about you? Think about all of those things. What do your thoughts, words, and actions all say? What are the things that you believe? What do those things truly say about you, who you are, what you've been through, what your fears are, your desires, the whole nine? But even though it says guard your heart, it says guard. It doesn't say lock it up. It says guard. It doesn't say put walls up, right? Like you cannot allow your fears, your wavering faith, your pain from the past, the disappointment, the frustration, the weight with how long you've been single. Don't let anything lead to you putting walls around your heart to protect you from what it is that you so desperately want. It's crazy when I see women do that. I'm like, you got a million walls up, but yet at the end of it, you are ultimately desiring and so badly wanting love. How are you gonna get that if you locked and loaded? What's going on? This is why I say love a man from day one. Put your hair down, relax. Because if you have the right boundaries in place, that man can't hurt you. I see a lot of these women in these groups on Facebook and these posts and all these things that they're talking. Oh my God, I cannot believe we were talking for a month and I'm so heartbroken that I found out this. And oh my God, I thought this was it. I thought we were going to be together. I'm just going to have to go and wait on God. Or maybe it's just going to be me and God. I'm just going to be married to Jesus. And I don't want to do this and flip, flip. And I see them go through all. I'm like, really? That man got you off course like after all that? Y'all didn't even meet in person? What? Y'all didn't even go on an actual date? You ain't met his mama. He ain't met your kid. None of these things. And you feeling like that because y'all were talking for 2 months? Because y'all went on 3 dates and you had already planned out y'all's wedding colors? It don't make sense to me. I tried to add the two and carry the one, and the math still ain't math, and something ain't adding up. I don't understand. Guard your heart, yes, but you need to just unbutton and be like, hey, I'm gonna let my hair down. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna meet this guy, and yeah, he wants to see me, and we're dating and everything. Cool. But listen, you can't find yourself all heartbroken like that if you truly did have boundaries and you were applying other things. Like I said, New Heart Academy, we're going to be talking about again all of the intentional dating skills, like one class by itself. It's called Advanced Dating. It's the Advanced Dating 201. But there's certain things that it's like you just got to know how to have certain boundaries. Like have fun, go in and be cool, but boundaries are going to help protect you from being heartbroken and finding yourself being strung along from someone you were talking to for 9 months. I remember I posted something in the Stash Tribe. This girl was like, I've been seeing this guy for like 8 months now, and he had the nerve to ask me why I don't have a boyfriend. And in her mind, she was like, oh, I thought he was my boyfriend. Ciao, boo. Love a man from day one. Allow yourself to fall in love. I want you to love and be loved. You know what? Sometimes we get it wrong. And what? Next. Are you someone who's going to give up just because something resilience? But what I will also say is a renewed heart and a renewed mind greatly prevent that from happening. So when I say unbutton yourself, you need to loosen up, no overthinking. Boundaries are something that are great and should be in place to protect you, not a heart that looks like Fort Knox, like as in it's all the way locked, no one can even get in. To prevent yourself from getting hurt, this is why I always say pace, pause and control your expectations, or pause and control your emotions. Get it together and you'll be fine. Have boundaries at every single stage. I always talk about the 5 natural stages and the progression of a healthy relationship. Strangers, casually dating, romantic friends, committed, and then of course, ultimately, marriage and that lifelong intimacy and everything else. You got to have boundaries at each stage. Here's the last one I will tell you as far as the strategy. Sitting on the couch ain't gonna do anything. Ordering stuff from Amazon, hoping that one day you might get one of the drivers that's not ghetto. And I don't say that to be disrespectful, but I live in a pretty nice neighborhood. But here lately, some of these Amazon drivers that are driving up, I'm just like, what are you out there black? Like, why do I hear your music bumping before you even pull up? And then a lot of them, they'll have like the Bluetooth going in the car and whatever else. I'm like, and I can hear your loud conversation. Yo, what's going on, man? Then some of y'all, like, you're talking to your girlfriend, you're talking to your boyfriend, you got arguments going on, you got rap music blasting. Some of these, they are doing too much, and it's pretty funny and hilarious to me. But you got to do more than just ordering stuff off Amazon, hoping that eventually you're going to get a cute driver. Like, strategy number 7, you have to positively position yourself. I see so many ladies who are doing the just praying and waiting game. That's it. They just literally sitting there praying, which is funny to me because I knew if you found out, like, that you were short on your rent, or like a bill was due, or it was something, or a trip that you wanted to take, you weren't going to just, at least I hope not, just sit there and be like, God, make this happen. God, my prayer is that you will let it fall into my lap, Lord. Be it unto me. Have your way, Lord God, because I know you are kind, and I know that you own cattle on 1,000 hills, and yeah, you're going to say a prayer, but then guess what? You're going to put in some work and be like, all right, you know what? I want to see this happen. What do I need to do to make this happen? How can I prepare? What biblical principles can I apply in order to get what it is that I want, in order to get to where I need to be? Let me make sure that I come up with a plan. I'm going to pray. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to come back the next day. I'm going to pray, see if God reveals something else. I'm going to write. I'm going to make changes. I'm going to write it all in pencil so I can erase and do what God is telling me to do. You're going to have a plan. Because as I always say, praying is nice, but I need you to prepare while you pray. Waiting is nice, but can you work while you wait? You got to put a little bit of action behind your faith, right? You have to positively position yourself. You're saying, hey, I want to meet a good man. I want to win at love. I want to win at kingdom love. I want to experience that. I'm not waiting no more. Enough is enough. Yeah, I might not be where I need to be, but I'm going to get myself together. I love Ruth 3:3 when it talks about, when Naomi was just like, hey, so this is what I'm gonna need you to do. I'm gonna need you to freshen up, get all dolled up, put on your little smell goods, put on all the little good stuff. Now I'm gonna send you here. Now I want you to go to him, and this is what you're gonna do, and we're gonna let that be that. And she was like, hey, go ahead, position yourself. And all Ruth had to do was go and make herself seen. And guess what? The rest was up to Boaz. Now, y'all already know, if you've read my best-selling book, Debunking the Fairy Tale of Boaz, y'all know I'm sick of hearing about Boaz. That's why I named it Debunking. I had a lot of people who, I don't like that title. Why would you name it that? Read the book. I don't have to explain anything to you. Buy the book if you want to know that, babe. But I love that story where it talks about that, because it's like Ruth she wasn't just, oh God, send Boaz to me. Naomi's like, hey girl, I'm gonna need you to get yourself together and go and positively position yourself. She did it positively. Her mindset, everything was all the way right. She smelled good. She was fresh. She was pure, like the whole night. She went there. Even then, Boaz was like, what are you doing? Okay, you shouldn't be here. Okay, we'll fix this, but I'm going to send you away. He still respected her purity and everything else. Her reputation had already preceded her because she had already probably gone through all the other 7 strategies her daggone self. He still sent her away with grains. She didn't even have to do anything to get fed. Look at that. That reminds me when I used to bust it open for a 2 for $20. Like, this time, you got to change if you want to win. But she positively positioned herself. I have ladies ask me all the time where to go to meet men. I can give you a lot of ideas. I can tell you which dating sites I recommend. I can have you create a bomb profile, as I've done plenty of times. I even have a chart on my website about where to meet them. But guess what? You may not work out the exact details of where you meet. You might not have all the details. You might not know, and the way it works for one person, it might not work for you. Because there is one dating site that I typically, I find it very entertaining. So I know a lot of people like really don't use it, or they kind of, whatever their head at it. But it's funny because that's where I met my guy. I'm all head over heels in love. I have clients who have also met theirs on. So, but either way, like what works for one is not going to work for another, because I know some people who also hate that site. It all depends. The key, as I always say, is to become the woman that the man you're praying for is looking for. And another key is to be prepared, have a good heart, and understand real love, so that you won't run from things that don't fit the superficial list that you've been praying over for about 5 years now. So positioning yourself, it is physical. Like, think about your ideal guy. What are things that you would be okay with the man doing in his free time and whatever else? Where is he at? We went through that in the Before Bay workshop and N2L. Like, you write the vision. We even did that in the Write the Vision workshop. We're doing this fully in depth in New Heart Academy as well. Do you want someone who is active in church? Guess what? Then you need to be at church very often. Do you want someone who maybe is occasionally at the clubs? Okay, do you go out dancing sometimes with your homegirls? Do you want a man who is big on missions trips and serving and volunteering? Then I would hope you want somebody's roster to be called in anytime there's a serve opportunity. Are you a homebody and you really don't like going out? Then you should be on a dating app or responding to some of those DMs. Do you believe in things happening when you least expect it? Cool. Okay. At the grocery store, you being intentional online, whatever. So it's all about positioning yourself. You have to be positioned in order to be found. Because I know a lot of women who still believe, oh, well, it says he who finds a wife. Y'all know I've already dispelled that scripture many a times and what the true meaning actually means. However, what I've also said was positively positioning yourself. That's mindset. That means you are planting good seeds while you wait, while you pray, while you work, while you prepare. These are 7 simple strategies. Simple. Like I said, y'all probably thought that y'all were getting some magic formula. It's really very, very simple. And if you take your time to receive and digest them, they will work wonders for you. Because all of these, none of these strategies I was ever implementing before. But all of these strategies worked for every lady who has gone before you that's come through me individually or my coaching program. It has worked for them. All 7 of these strategies worked for me because I told y'all I was in love head over heels with somebody else who was my soulmate in a different kind of way. But then I really had to be honest. He did not fit my vision. That's why I'm always talking about, writing the vision. That's why I did that workshop as well. And God was showing me, hey, did you ever think to find out if this man fits your vision? And when I really looked, I was like, no, he really doesn't. And I had to let him go. And it was hard letting that man go because it was a different kind of connection, but he was not my person. And that is okay. And I let him go. I wrote my vision. I took myself through all 7 of these things. This is the healthiest, best relationship I have ever been in my entire life. Ever. Ever, ever. Like, these things work. And I always say, understand you have the power to create your love story. No, you might not have all the details. You might not know exactly how it's going to happen, but you can know what the love will look like, how he is going to treat you, how you're going to treat him, how the 2 of you are both going to honor God, what you don't have to do prior because you're going to have boundaries, the whole 9. Your power rests in your lips, right? Proverbs 18:21. Life and death are in the power of your tongue. You can decide that you are going to have things that are going to be a little bit different going forward, that you no longer have to beg with God, plead with God, conform to the patterns, asking, when is it going to be my turn? Talking about, God, I see what you've done for others. You don't have to go through any of those things when somebody posts about, good men existing. And it's like, I get sick of people even coming on my post, but where he at though? Where he at, coach? And you say that, guess what? Because those are already seeds of doubt. You're already saying that you're doubting what somebody else is telling you can't happen for you. You're already doubting what someone is saying that they went through, or you're thinking that person is the only one who's going to experience that kind of love and have that kind of story. No. I know it's hard when you're a good woman, but you're still single. Until you change your heart, it won't happen. Because some of us, we're good on the outside, but we got some muck and some nonsense on the inside. We got heart issues. The seeds, the beliefs, the envy, your heart is literally the soil where things are planted. What are your thoughts, your words, and your actions growing? That's what I want you to think about tonight, the rest of the weekend, the whole 9. I'm not going to be talking to y'all this weekend because I'm going on a family couples trip. This is going to be interesting. Like, all of us are going away for a little bit. So this is going to be interesting. So while I'm going and doing that, I want you to be thinking about your heart, your thoughts, your words, your actions, your vision. What has tripped you up in the past? What do you really believe about love? Are you good with love? Do you have it set where a man has to do the most in order to even get some of your time? Are you positively positioning yourself? Are you open and available when it comes to love? Do you really understand love, or have you made it all about you? Do you know who you are? Do you know what you value? Do you even know what your beliefs are? Can you be unapologetically you? Have you thought about what God really intended for marriage? Have you ever sought him when it comes to marriage? Have you thought about all of those things? Have you thought about all of those things? That's what I want to know. You already know I'm here for you and I'm here to help you win. If you're tired of waiting, if you're thinking that God has overlooked you, if you can't keep up with the rules and the religion and the regulations of dating and relationships today, I got you. I would love to have even more of you come on into the summer semester of New Heart Academy. It is a 12-week transformation program for serious, ready women who are saying, yes, I want to renew my heart so that I can get the love I desire. Yes, God said that he would give you the desires of your heart. But here's what he also said. He said, I will give you a new heart and I will put a new spirit in you. God said, I will take out your stony, stubborn heart and I will give you a tender, responsive heart. That's what he said in Ezekiel 36:26. I couldn't win at Kingdom Love until I actually renewed my heart. I couldn't. I've said it before. I was saved, but I was not delivered. We enter into salvation just by believing. I was not delivered from a lot of the things that had held me back. I had spirit issues, heart issues. I was broken. I had a lot of the answers to help and save others, but I could not even help myself. I was stubborn. I was arrogant, just like the scripture said. And God was like, so you're going to watch everyone else live their best life in the life you want as they take the advice that you gave them from me, but you're not even taking it yourself. It was so hard to actually hear God say that to me. But I always say, New Thing Life Coaching is a God thing. He gave me the wisdom to create the acronyms, the strategies, the methods, and the systems, the things that worked for others. And now I finally said, okay, take your own advice to keep the love that God showed and promised you. I'm here for you. Let me know how I can help you. Again, New Heart Academy, it is that one-stop Win at Love shop, all encompassing. It is intense. It's live. There are live classes every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock. You get lifetime access to all the replays. There are exercises, there are challenges, there are assignments. Learn more at newthinglifecoaching.com/NHA. And only because I love y'all and because I'm happy that I'm finally going on vacation. It's the only reason why for 48 hours it's currently discounted. All right. You'll see the different payment options available, but I'll just tell you there are 3 different payment options. Some women are doing the 12 weekly payments of $119. Some are doing 3 monthly payments of $475. And then some are doing the one-time payment so that they can get all the different bonuses and extra classes along with a relationship readiness assessment and a 1-hour coaching session with me. And that is discounted as well. And you still get all the bonuses for $14.25. The website has regular prices. So if you are saying, I want in on this, you have to message me or email me if you want the discounted prices that I just mentioned that will be ending Saturday, July 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. After that, you're stuck with the prices on the website. Stuck. I hate to say stuck. So email address, send that to me. And if you want, if you want in, just send me your email address and let me know if you're wanting to do the one-time payment, if you want the weekly payment option, or if you want the monthly option. It's really just that simple. Just all you got to say is, hey, here's my email address. This is the option I'm choosing. I will immediately write you back. I'll know it's up. Once you set it up, you're in, you're good. We're good to go. And you get a nice little summer t-shirt that you get to rock all summer because we are starting a hashtag We Will Win movement. All right. I want to see more of you in. I want to see more of you winning. I want to see more of you, even if you're just saying, hey, I need time to even process these 7 strategies. Guess what? That's cool too. Let's just make it happen at the end of the day, right? Like, I just want to see you all make it do what it do. SJ, I don't know if you're watching this on YouTube or in the Sash tribe, but I got you. Just resend me your email address, SJ. I love you, ladies. I pray that you all have a fantastic night. I hope you was able to get something out of this. I would love to hear, even if you just tell me, like, okay, what was that one strategy that you just really, really needed to hear? Like, what was really throwing you up? I know for me, one of my top ones was also the TWA seeds when it comes to thoughts, words, and actions. God, like I said, my heart, my thoughts, the things that I say, and just stuff like that. It can be, but I don't know if a lot of you have ever read, I know that they have like the Battlefield of the Mind with Joyce Meyer, but I love the devotional that she has as well. I don't know if you can see it. I love this. And this is a game changer as well. This is definitely something that, listen, I love the devotionals and everything because it always helps me when it comes to getting myself together because of my mindset. It really is a battlefield. The enemy, he's sneaky, he's raggedy, and he's ugly. He's going to try different things. So renewing my mind and those TWA seeds, but also understanding men. I was always fighting to be understood, but I never took the time to understand men. And I didn't do well in dating. So let's just say that. But I'm going to get y'all straight. We all going to be straight because I told my best friend, I was like, I'm excited because I know that the day is coming where we are going to be doing an amazing couples trip somewhere out in the mountains, and it's going to be epic and amazing. And we're just going to have like all of these cool things going, like that we all get to do because we're just all going to be a group of women who are going to be winning with amazing men. And that is going to be that. Crystal, it's hey sis at newthinglifecoaching.com. Hey sis at newthinglifecoaching.com. All right, I'm going to end this because it's still thundering. I'm glad the lightning has stopped a little bit. Send me a message if you're having, any issues or whatever. If you have any questions as far as whatever. Janetta, yes, you can share this. Actually, what I'm about to do is I am going to upload this. It's streaming right now to the YouTube channel as well. So you'll also be able to share that link when I do that. And if you are on the mailing list at newthinglifecoaching.com, I am going to send out the replay as well. So just give me some time to actually like edit this or kind of transfer it over. But I am going to send this out to everyone who is on the email, on the mailing list. So you will be able to share it. I typically, just ask unless it's like a meme or something like that, that nothing ever gets shared or screenshot from the group. I really try to make sure that the SASH tribe stays private. It is that place people are getting, a little bit more comfortable as far as opening up and talking and, just posting and whatever else. So I really try to make sure that we're not sharing things from the group. And there are times, even though I've said that several times, that some women have still share things outside the group, which Facebook, even though it's a private group, somehow they have like some setting now or whatever else. So I don't even know why that was possible. But I did end up removing some people. So thank you for asking. But yeah, so if you are watching this, like I said, in the tribe, just hold on. I will be sharing it to YouTube and we will be good to go as far as that is concerned. All right, I'm just going through making sure I don't have any other questions or anything because I see inbox messages coming in. It makes me happy to see that a lot of you are just like, hey, absolutely, I am all in. I'm going to be in New Heart Academy. I see that some people have also been, signing up and everything. So we're going to get this party started. Like I said, we start July 20th, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock live. Again, if you never can make it live, the replay will be sent out to you immediately the very next morning. You'll always get it's a lot. When I tell you it's a lot, and y'all know I do a lot of low cost things. I know that this one is a little bit more costly, but you have to understand all that you are getting with it. Because like I said, the classes every Wednesday really are anywhere from like an hour and 15 minutes to like 2.5 hours. And not to mention that, but then it's also where I have like all of these worksheets. Like you literally get a workbook every single week as well. Like, so you have a lot of work to do from Wednesday night's class up into the next class every single week. And then it's like running the private group that's associated with that, some materials that sometimes get sent out, some t-shirts, the whole nine. A lot goes into this academy. It is extremely transformational. And it's really a really good alternative to even doing one-on-one coaching. Now, yes, some women have even come out of that and like, okay, now I want to work with you one-on-one, and that's cool too. But there's a reason why this one is a little bit more on the higher end, as far as that's concerned. So I'm thankful, of course, for those of you who understand that. That is why I also, hey, Lightning. That is also why I do make payment options and things like that available. So thank you for those of you who like I said, just keep that in mind and respect everything I do, that I became certified in life coaching, dating coaching, and relationship coaching in order to make all of these things possible. I take what I do very, very seriously. I love working with women. I'm serious about fulfilling my purpose, the calling, everything. So that is why. Sky just opened back up again. All right, so I think I've answered all questions. And if not, I will go back and check everything. Again, primarily just because I'm going to get off here. It's raining. I've already been off for an hour. It's thundering. It's lightning. I literally got a window right behind me. So we're going to leave out and let that be that. I love you, ladies. Y'all be blessed. Y'all have a fantastic night, weekend. I will be in Orlando trying to take a little bit of a break. I've been working hard and I really need to woosah and unwind. All right. But y'all take care and I'll talk to all of you later. Bye.